Hi Genesis Project family.
And Merry Christmas to everyone.
Yes. So in our last video we were kind of, well, at least Cliff,
I was trying to give it away. Yeah.
Right, which we had talked about, I guess, a few months ago that we were planning to go to Botswana, but that time we did not purchase any tickets or anything like that. So
we've actually been planning this for 3 years now. This has been 3 years in the making for the Genesis project.
Yeah, since the beginning of 2020, and that's the reason why we have been selling donuts. Okay, so it's not that we are trying to hustle or anything like that, which nothing is wrong with a good honest hustle,
yeah,
right?
But we're not bakers.
Yeah, we are not bakers. So that's the reason behind it. So we are on our way to Botswana. We are leaving Grenada today in the next probably 2 hours.
2 hours we're going to be heading to the airport.
Yes.
So we are all packed up. We've got bags right over our shoulders here. Total of 6 bags that we're taking. But we're going to be these big bags are packed full of things for children in need.
All right.
We have over 60 children that live on the streets in Gauteng, Botswana.
Yes.
That we are going to go and start an orphanage for.
Yeah. So I really don't want to say an orphanage because I don't know, for some reason it seems cold, right? But I know that it takes less explanation if you say an orphanage, because they say home, you'll be like, what home? Who living in the home? You know, what and all that. So yes. So before we continue, as Cliff mentioned, all these items have thick blankets, sundresses that Bob Coiner sold and sent with us. And these blankets were all donated by students of SGU since 2020, right?
So we've had these in our home waiting for years.
Yes. And the thing is, we also got some new ones.
Yes.
So we have all those blankets. We had to rewash because the students gave us it washed and all that, but we had to wash it over to make sure that it is nice and clean and fresh, you know. And so it's these huge bags that we are of sundresses and blankets that we're taking to Botswana. So when you hear Botswana, a lot of people say, well, okay, that's Africa, so it's just going to be hot. So Botswana also have winters. So if you're living on the street and you're experiencing winter, you could only fathom that what they'll be experiencing, right? And these are kids. So Botswana don't have snow, but they do have winter. So they have very, very cold winters.
It gets down to, you know, everything's in Celsius, of course, there. So in what we would be kind of accustomed to would be around 40 to 50 degrees. And so if you have nothing and you're on the streets, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. So before we go on, we would like to thank all those who donated and purchased donuts for the cause. You know, past and present CSA, which is Christian Student Association e-board, right? And especially this last e-board, because they came out swinging. They even donated when we was leaving more money so that we would be able to carry to Botswana with us to make sure that this project got started. So we want to say thank you to all of you all. And you would see in the pictures that we have some of the students who volunteered to assist me sell donuts when Cliff wasn't there, such as Courtney, Julia.
Yep, Diana.
No, Diana didn't assist with the donuts. We had Courtney, Julia, Jasmine, Tunde, even though they were busy with school, they all donated their time. They came out and they assisted.
Ashley.
Yes, I forgot Ashley, right? And so many others. Tim and his wife also.
Yes. Colombo.
Yes.
Tim and Jessica.
Jessica. Cliff is good with names. Jessica also, who were always supporting us in prayer and yes, and so much things. We want to say thank you.
So many of the CSA students and significant others that we've been in contact with just have a real heart for
missionary work,
and what we're doing. And when they heard about this mission, this, you know, I don't even really like to call it a mission anymore, but this ministry, because that's really what this is about. When they heard about it, they wanted to just come on board any way that they could. in any manner that they could, whether it be financially or if it was through prayer or helping, like Arlene said, helping serve the donuts and we're collecting the money for that.
Yeah.
Just really amazing group. It's good to be able to call them family and part of our church family. So.
Right. And you know, we cannot call everyone's name, right? Because it is just too many. All of those who purchased consistently from a few years back, and they now leave the island, and some of them who recently started here after the pandemic, who sent, like for instance, Stefan and Dana Lee, who would always share our flyer together with Julia and Amanda Torres. They always share our flyer to make sure that everyone know what is going on. And you know, Cliff said how this has been 3 years in the making, and it is true. And you'll be like, "Well, that's a long time," and it is true. Sometimes it do feel long.
Yeah.
And you know, it is a reminder to us that a delay is not a denial. Because when we started, we did not know that we would have the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened, and then we couldn't do any fundraising for a year and something, and it was heart-wrenching. It was frustrating because it's like, you know, we have been keeping in contact with the Nyang Association, and we have been, and they understand too, because the pandemic was you know, the entire world. But nevertheless, you know, your heart go out to those children who have been on the streets. And I have to be reminded that these are God's children. He loved them much more than I could ever even fathom, you know, more than their parents. So when we tell ourselves that, okay, this is a delay, so maybe God is not in it, that is not true. A delay is not a denial, and it teaching us patience, making our faith grow, you know, making us stick to it and keep on praying. And
you never know what God is protecting you from.
Yeah.
His timing, His plan is perfect. And so if we're able to allow ourselves to be a part of that and to allow Him to use us in those opportunities, He will. And that turns out to be amazing. So patience, that's one of the toughest things that I could pray for, because, man, He'll show you some patience.
Right, and especially as we are going our trip. So we are leaving here today, which is the 19th, and we'll be arriving praying on the 22nd, because we have a lot of change of flight times and dates and all that.
Layovers.
So layover, it have changed since Cliff bought those tickets so many times. So
since August, we actually purchased our tickets in August of this year.
Yeah.
And
it have been changed.
It's just been it's been really interesting.
Yes. So it is patience, but we one of the things that we have discussed is that, you know, keeping the faith, that no matter what, we will be representing Christ.
Yes.
So let's not act a fool even if a flight got delayed or cancelled. You understand? We can't be in the airport acting a fool saying we representing Christ. That ain't gonna happen.
That's right.
So my accountability partner will keep me in check, and I will keep him in check.
Guarantee that's right.
Right. So and we don't mince words. That if we have to, you know, tell each other, calm down, cool down, stay quiet, shut up. You know, we tell each other that.
Plain.
Yes, plain as it is. So I guess we will be giving you a little bit of the videos and information as we go along.
Definitely. I'm really excited. Now, one thing, little disclaimer, we will not be putting any of the children's faces up here on YouTube.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want, if we were in some of the situations that some of these children are, we would not want to be exploited like that, and we're not about that at all. So just be aware that we'll have some blanked out faces, but we want to show you what's going on. And again, like Arlene said, we just really want to thank all of you amazing donors, whether you donated your time, your finances, or your prayer, your skills,
blankets.
I mean, so many things. This is what the 3 years have come together to build, and we are so excited to be able to be used by God, to be His hands and feet in Botswana. My first time across the pond. I've never been across the Atlantic Ocean, so.
I don't really think that's across the pond. Across the pond is England. That is further across the pond.
And a lot further south. So
yes.
We fly into Doha, Qatar,
then Johannesburg,
and then
and then
South Africa, and then Cameroon,
Yeah, which most likely we pronounce Gaborone incorrectly, but nevertheless, into Botswana.
We'll have it down though by the end of this trip, let me tell you.
Yeah. So anyhow, we want to thank you all for everything. Please continue to keep us in prayer. We love you, and we will keep you updated.
Merry Christmas. God bless your season.